Pablo. All right, now. Hey, you want hey, Liam, grab that cup right there in case Mama makes more tea. She can make me some too. Thanks, so. Appreciate. I am live, big boy. There's Liam. Let's see what sweat you got on. Pat the Patriot. We got Frank, and Frank is from Boston. He said, "Bring back Pat." You gotta move the thing so people can see it. Bring back Pat. Bring back Pat. Hey, Lena's like when I child abuse on live stream. You don't want some more child abuse? As a child abusing Liam. So now the FBI can come get me because they said, we saw you on, the woke FBI. We saw you child abusing on a live stream, Scanlon. You're going to jail. All right. So we, oh man, what did I do with I guess I don't have my other computer. Are we rocking and rolling here, amigos? Y'all, anyone out there? I see a couple people. Oh, here goes Pablo back. Anyone can hear me? Hello, Rob. Hey, we got Mickey. We got Monica. I did, Jeremy. Thank you, sir. We got Chicken Charlie. Howdy, Carl. Right on. Give me just let me know if y'all can hear me, because all right, sweet. Well, Frank, just like being from Boston, here is HEAR. All right. Yeah. Look at Worcester in the house. Worcester, Rob and Worcester, Frank, just smoked you in Boston. Rob says here, HEAR. So obviously Rob's got a master's degree from Holy Cross. Frank just went to UMass Amherst. Speaking of which, did y'all see the insanity of UMass? Oh, we got to start with this. Hold on a second. Hold on. I just got to show you this guy. This is freaking nuts. All right. Hold on a sec. We're going to go. Oops. You made me feel like dancing. All right. This was a test. Right on. Alaska. Right on. Alaska in the house. All right. Cool. We're going to show you guys something that is going to freaking blow your mind. All right. Right here. All right. We get on I got a bunch of stuff on. So Rob went to Worcester State University. All right. We couldn't afford Holy Cross like my sister, Rob, because we're the other half, Rob. We're the other half. Now you know how the other half live. All right, bite on. I love fossil fuels. Got that shirt from my man Alex Epstein over at he's got a YouTube channel, Alex Epstein, The Moral Case for Fossil Fuels, by the way, which I have the book, but I guess it's on my shelf there. The Moral Case for We got Maine, Pierre Sear from Maine. He goes by Pete. I don't remember a guy named Pierre from Maine. So where are you calling in from there, Pierre? Because I did not know. Anyway, we got Alex Epstein from The Moral Case for Fossil Fuels. If you're interested in that, which you should be, you should get that book. All right, so I want to share with you guys something. This is it's going to tick you off. It was always good to start with getting people mad. That's for sure. All right, so here we go. My man Turtle Boy over at TV Daily News. He ran for school council. He lost because he was up against the machine, the Democratic machine, and the Democratic machine said, we know 1,000 people who will vote no matter what. We would call that walking around money for a good amount of those 1,000 people. But another amount of those 1,000 people are true believers in socialism and communism. So they're always going to vote the Dems. There's also walking around money that the Democrats use very, very well. I'm just telling you right now. Why do you think they get these robo-protesters? It's walking around money, man. Do you think these people are protesting, give two craps of what the hell's going on? They just follow where the money leads them. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows this. Just people are too afraid to say what it is. It's walking around money. Anyway, so Democrats will always have walking around money. They'll always get enough people to vote for their candidates of choice. Okay. Sadly, Turtle Boy, Aiden Kearney, and the two other guys are Republican, running as Republicans. They don't really run as Republicans, but on the Republican side, didn't realize that, and as such, the machine got beat. And the funny thing is, Turtle Boy had access. This is where the political machines come in. He had access to a Republican operative who would give him the list of voters who voted for Trump in 2020 for 2 cents a vote. And if you only got 15, look, it's a learning experience. If you only got 1,100 votes, he would have won. 5,500 people voted for Trump in Worcester, that area right there, in Holden, Massachusetts, which is where he's running. My understanding, Rob can confirm this, the largest school district in all of Massachusetts. 5,500 people voted for Trump. Trump lost, 40 to 60, and only 1,000 people voted for the left candidates in the school council. And now critical race theory is going to be ingrained in every single child in Worcester County Public Schools, whatever that district is, because 1,000 people voted for the left candidates. That's it. And Aiden got, I think, 600 votes or something like that, 700 votes. That's it. 5,500 Trump supporters. Only 700 of them bothered to show up to the special election. Nuts. All right, so let's read this. This is UMass kicks 3 girls off campus, refuses to refund tuition for not wearing masks at a party while off campus. Yeah, here's a college president, Marty Meehan. Didn't he used to be the mayor or something like that? Poses without mask on with a student. And so there's the president right there, student off campus with no mask. 3 girls were off campus with no mask on a St. Patrick's Day party, and they got kicked out of school and no refund on their tuition. Literally kicked out of school, no refund. And if we go down here, I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's a private outdoor event, but it gets even worse. There's the 3 girls. We're blacking them out. So here's the University of Mass hockey team. They're coming out. Oh, lo and behold, no mask. All these people, no mask. How dare you have no mask? Do they get kicked off campus? No. And I love hockey, but no mask. Hey, how can you have no masks? Crazy. All right. And so we keep going here. Here's this clown who narked on the girls for wearing no mask. Look at this guy. And here, oh my goodness, shocking that the lady who kicked these girls out of school would look like this. Count me shocked. If that is not the epitome of a Karen, I don't know what it is. So the woman who ultimately decided to suspend hundreds of students for being free was Brandy Hepner LeBlanc, the ultimate Karen who makes $310,000 a year, paid by, they say the taxpayers, I would say the teenagers who take on all the debt. So she's the one who kicked them out of school with no refund because they wore a mask off campus, by the way, in an outside party. But again, let's just go back for just a second now, because not only is UMass hockey team not wearing masks, here is the president of the school himself, no mask. But it gets even better. You ready? This whole thing it's all a power ploy. All right, so we talked about those clowns right there. This guy oh my goodness, the hockey coach is the same guy. Hey, the same guy who narked on the, look at that, April 27th, April 2021, April 17th. They're inside at the University of Massachusetts, no masks. The same, Ben, you got to leave. Ben, hey. Go get a treat. There you go. Hold on. Good boy. This is the hockey coach, and this is the kid who narked on him but not wearing a mask. No mask, and they're inside, on campus. Good times had by all. And this is the guy here. He's just an idiot, man. He says, if you care about your country, wear a mask. If you care about anyone other than this country, whatever that means, but wear a mask. But he wasn't wearing a mask. Crazy, huh? Mask. The mask is all political power posturing. That's all it is, man. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows. Let's see. Hold on just a second. He mad at Tom Brady for not wearing a mask. I guess he doesn't have other pictures. Anyway, the point being is it's all we all know this, man. No, everyone here knows it's all masks. It's all politics. It's nothing but a power play, without question. All friggin' fakes, all losers. Remember these people always, because they're going to come a time where they're going to admit that, or they're not going to admit, they're going to say, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. That's why Turtle Boy and other people like him, Andy No, are so wonderful, because they're screenshotting this stuff for posterity, because we got to hold these people accountable. We got to say, man, you are a freaking little Nazi. Literally, they are. The little Mao guards, Nazis, and just real quick. Again, well, I'm not going to do it. That lady makes $300. You know how much Marty Meehan makes as president? $450,000 a year. Yeah, and that woman right there made $317,000 a year to be a Karen and to basically kick kids off school and not give them a refund. It's such a reverse Robin Hood. The whole thing's a scam. It's not just University of Massachusetts, my friends. It's freaking everywhere. Oh my goodness. Yep, paid for by the good old Massachusetts taxpayers. Right on, man. Title IX needs to be reformed or abolished. I mean, Title IX is just a clown show now. Now that we, in some ways, I got to say, in other ways, I'm somewhat enjoying the fireworks of the Title IX advocates fighting the other side. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say too much more. I don't want to get banned on YouTube. But there's two sides of the story that typically are far away from my side of the story in terms of making sure they have fair, accessible treatment. And they're fighting for the crumbs. And one side is getting the short end of the stick. In a way, the Megan Rapinoe, whatever that stupid clown's name is, in a way, it's kind of funny to seeing her side getting beat down by the unjust that is the other side who should not be participating. It's just the way around that. But it's awful, awful hard to take the side of the Megan Rapinoe people of the world because it's just hard. And so it's funny because I heard that the U.S. women's soccer team got smoked by high school kids in Texas or something like that, and they want equal pay or whatever. The whole thing's clown show. It's awful hard to be sympathetic whether she's out there and now she's on a freaking Subway sub commercial. What the hell? It's hard not to kind of laugh when they're getting beaten down by it probably literally beaten now too by people who should be participating. But it's kind of one of those hydra or get the popcorn. All right, so let's see what we got here. Epitome of a Karen, exactly, Doug. Right on. All right, so what I want to do here a little bit. Let's see what we got. Watched the Atlanta baseball game, looked shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, no one had masks, my understanding. I don't pay that much mind to sports anymore. But I was listening to Clay Travis, and he was saying they had a boxing match at in the Cowboy Stadium there, and 100,000 people, something like that, packed in, and hardly any masks. Apparently, the Braves were playing the Phillies 3 straight games over the weekend, a 3-game series, and I guess his capacity, no mask. I was like, man, freaking awesome. Awesome. I love CO2. Wisconsin, right on, man. Wisconsin. Wisconsin, I don't know, they still got the nuclear plant up there because you're going to need it, baby. You're going to need that nuclear plant. Yep, UMass making examples of girls. Whatever happened to equal rights Title IX? They're outside with masks. Yep. All right, so there we go. We got Lady Bug. She's 53 in Florida. I'm doing 70 stocks, 30 bonds at the moment. Am I doing the right allocation, hoping to retire by 62? I got no qualm with it. I memean, you are 9 years out of retirement. Sure, I get no issue with that with all, none whatsoever. Just remember, a 70-30 portfolio fell 37, using the Wellington Fund for an example, for our proxy, and I think that's a safe proxy, fell 37% from October 2007 to March 9th of 2009, Ladybug. 37%. And you cannot assume that will never happen again. See, this is the problem I have with people. They think the Fed's going to either print money. And the printing of the money does is an inflation for assets. I don't deny that at all. I'm not denying that the printing of money inflates assets, real estate, bonds, and stocks. That was kind of the point when they first started doing it in QE way back when. Can it happen forever? Maybe. I don't know. But, presumably not. But anyway, at the end of the day, you always got to remember we've had 12 straight years of a massive freaking wealth accumulation. And as such, those days can't just continue on forever. And if you look back to 2007 to 2009 of March 9th of 2009, your portfolio was down 37%. Wellesley portfolio was down 22%. S&P 500 was down 57. So let me just draw you something here, guys. And I want to do my search for yield thing because I've had this up on my thing for freaking 4 days now. Been wanting to do a video on it, but just haven't got around to it. All right, so remember, we have 100% stocks. It was down 57%. We have 70-30, like Ladybug had, down 37%. And then we had 35-65, down 22%. All right, so I just want to point that out. All right, so if we had the total stock, well, in this case is the S&P 500, it was down 57% from October 2007 to March 9th of 2009, top to bottom. Wellington was down 37% top to bottom. Wellesley was down 22% top to bottom. So if you had $1 million on October 1st, 2007, you woke in Hey, Rob, Holden's 1 mile from your house. Did you freaking vote, dude? I hope you voted. Man, I hope you were able to vote. Anyway, so if you had a 70-30 portfolio, you were down to $630,000 18 months later. If you had a Wellesley 35-65, you were down to $780 18 months later. Now, Ladybug, given that she's 9 years away, if we went through the same thing, it would, let's see, we'll just say 2021. We'll just say by the end of 2020, by the end of 2022. So she'd be, we'll say 55. She'd be still 7 years away of retirement, man. 7 years away. Does that make sense? So at the end of the day, like, all right, I'm 7 years away. I'm down to, in her case, my $1 million is down to, what did I say, 630? Yeah, 630. I mean, that's still a long time to recoup. And by the way, and this is the critical thing, you're still plugging. You're still plugging money in. Every single week paycheck, you're still plugging. I just got a confirmation on M1, my M1 finance account, that I just made a trade when the markets closed today. I was like, great. Just dollar cost. That's the beauty of dollar cost averaging. So while the pain of a down market is painful, it's a whole lot less painful when you're plugging money in. So a lot of people say, oh, by the way, I'm on Facebook here too, by the way. And I got 5 people one person on Facebook. All right, cool. I'm messing around with Facebook. I'm trying to use the tools of the enemy to beat the enemy. And Facebook is that for sure. Anyway, so the issue is, will that 70-30 portfolio really save you that much chagrin if you're 9 years away versus 100% stock portfolio, especially if you have enough in cash to see you through for a year? I don't think so, Ladybug. But that's the issue. I always say to people like, should I go 60-40 or 50-50? Man, it's freaking no big deal. It's like it literally doesn't matter. No one ever sat there and say, man, Josh, I'm glad I went 50-50 instead of 60-40 because my 50-50 portfolio was only down 25%. But that 60-40 portfolio, that was down 28%. That's crazy. No one ever said that in the history of mankind. No one ever said, man, I'm only down 25, but man, if I still stayed 60-40, I'd be down 28. Woo! No, it doesn't work like that, my friends. I mean, so it's just like, all right, you got 9 years away, 70-30. Is that really going to save your bacon relative to 100% stocks? I doubt it. Now, it just won't. It won't. I mean, 37% was 37%, and that was in Wellington, which is still large cap value stocks, by the way, not growth stuff. The point being is that at the end of the day, is like, man, if you're that far away and you're investing, you might as well just, invest. Make sure you got some money on the side. I'm not saying don't, and I don't know what you have, but you always want to have, the reason you want to have a little bit of cash on the side, maybe that 30% of your 70-30 portfolio is that. The reason you want to have that, Ladybug, is in case you get laid off. If you get laid off and the company, and they don't give you severance or something like that, say, hey, Ladybug, you're on your own. And you're like, man, my $1 million is now worth $630,000, and I got no freaking, I got no income coming in, but I still got a mortgage. That's where you got to have some liquidity in terms of some cushion, some buffer. So if that 30% of your portfolio is your buffer, that's fine. If you have other cash on the side, maybe a home equity line of credit or a good fashion cash, I'm not sure you need a 30% portfolio on bonds. But I tell you, man, the minute I say that, stocks get hammered, bonds don't. You're like, I hate that Josh guy. So I always tell people like that, 60-40, 70-30, 50-50. At the end of the day, it just doesn't matter that much. What matters is the time that you have to recoup from a big market chaos. And if you got 9 years out, I'd be literally, this is me. And I hate to sound flippant. I'm like, I'm going to show what I do. See that right there? That's a window. So what I do is I look out the window. Look out. Oh, by the way, those are my college degrees. Some of y'all, I've heard a couple times, people say, I can't find you on the CFP board. Are you really a CFP? I haven't been on the CFP board of whatever their freaking list is of CFPs or whatnot. So I've had a couple people like challenge me, say, you're not really, they didn't say it explicitly, but I don't know if I'm going to see it. I've literally no idea. All I know is I freaking pay them every 2 years. And I take the CPE or the CE to make sure that I keep certified, and as well as I pay them, it's like $500 or $600, $700 a year to keep my CFP designation. So I have I don't know where I put it. It's around here. I think it's up in the attic. All my crap's up in the attic. I have a CFP. What's the word I'm looking for? A diploma thing, whatever. Not diploma. certificate of graduate, whatever the hell it is. That I passed a stupid test. But I had a couple people, not every, probably once or twice a year. I looked for you on the CFP board. I couldn't find you. Are you sure you're a CFP? I said, I'm sure as my $500 has got my wallet. Yeah, I am. All right. Hope that helps, Ladybug. All right. We're going to go with the wheel topic. Yep. And Bob says the hockey time at a parade and no one was wearing masks. Yep. Rand Paul, he's the man. I would love for Rand Paul to take a freaking sledgehammer at the entirety of the federal government. Fauci's it's just such a clown. Are we going to get? I guess the one thing that's good now is we know this. We know here. I keep thinking about this. The CIA and FBI going so woke. We know they're going to be inherently incompetent. And in some way, that makes me happy. In other ways, that makes me more scared because remember the incompetence of Janet Reno under Clinton, Ruby Ridge, David Koresh. You see what I'm saying? Remember the incompetence of them not sharing data, which is probably good. Look, I don't trust the CIA and FBI as far as I can kick them anymore. I just don't. After what they did to Trump, I realize it's irresolvable corrupt in those systems. And even though I used to think the CIA and FBI had our best, they don't. They don't. Now, I knew that the minute they didn't really seem to care too much about Hillary Clinton's email. I said, wait, what? I knew that it was just all corrupt. And that was probably more than anything my red pill, frankly. When they just kind of brushed Hillary Clinton's email server under the rug, I said, what? And then there was like a fire or something. I can't remember. There's like a fire someplace. No, it wasn't that. It was Clinton had a guy. Oh, I can't believe I can't remember his name. And he had, I see his face too, and he went to the National Archives and walked away with private notes so it would not be subject to a FOA, the Freedom of Information Act. Oh, what's that guy's name? I can't remember. And he stuffed it in his pants. Clinton had a guy that was working with him and Hillary, who was corrupt as the day is long. And he went to the National Archive to gather his internal docs that he's supposed to submit. But because he was worried about Freedom of Information Act that they were going to find his corruption, he went in there and took the stuff out, literally stuffed it down his pants and walked out. It's completely illegal. You're not supposed to do that. And what the FBI do said, don't do it again. What the hell is that guy? It's not Bill Richardson. I want to say it's Richardson. It wasn't him. He's a clown, but it wasn't him. I can't believe I can't remember this guy's name. Oh, I see him right now, too. Just a rumpy, frumpy, dumpy guy, a guy who can only be in politics or else he'll never get married, if that makes sense. But anyway, the problem was the incompetence of these groups are more scary because what they do is they don't turn externally on foreign enemies. They turn internally. You see what I'm saying? Because we do have a compliant society is what we witnessed by COVID. It's very, very compliant. So what they do is divide and conquer. They'll make crap up against it, and they'll come after you like stink on, you know what? No different than Ruby Ridge. I mean, look, and this is just in my essentially adult time. Never mind what they did to Martin Luther King and all the NAACP and all the blacks from the older times. These guys are as corrupt as day is long. And the problem is when they're incompetent, they know they're going to get smoked by the Chinese, by the Russians, never mind by who else is out there. So they say, well, we're going to lose these guys, but at least we can exercise our authority because incompetent people want to exercise authority. That's where they get, it's a Peter principle. You get promoted to your greatest level of incompetence. And so the CIA is being staffed by a bunch of Peter principals who love the idea of having authority, but they're also angry. They also want revenge. And a lot of them have no children. So there's no generational concern of making sure the country's strong for future generations. So I'm telling you right now, man. So while we laugh at the CIA and its wokeness, it's scary because when they get woke, that's when they get radical, and the radicals want revenge. They don't want justice. They want revenge. What do they want revenge for? I don't know. Obviously, they were the last person picked in dodgeball. Obviously, they never dated a girl they could go anyway this day and age. Obviously, they try to plant seeds and they never germinate. They don't know how to garden. Obviously, they don't have any kids. And as such, they want revenge and they want to make you pay because you, for some reason, are their enemy and they're hostile towards you. Why do you think they're going after all this insurrections crap? We all know that. And so I was mocking it in my head at first, saying, the CIA, what the hell are they doing? And I started saying, oof, remember Ruby Ridge, Randy Weaver, David Koresh. Now, you might not like these guys. I frankly could care less. It doesn't matter who you like. It matters the federal government remember Elian Gonzalez, man, on the behest of Janet Reno's goons. Lon, the guy who shot Randy Weaver's wife, Lon, it starts with an H, and that guy should forever be known in infamy as a scumbag. And the funny thing is, a lot of these guys actually are probably they are probably patriots in their own mind. They're thinking what they're doing is for the country, and they follow orders. They say, look, this is for the good of the country because my country is telling me to do such, so I'm going to do it. No different than people who just is sad because, I was there, dude. You thought you had to go to Vietnam to fight the communists to benefit your country. Turns out you were just being a tool for the big war machine. It's sad. It's sad. It's just sad. And yet it turns out all these guys, the big war machine, they don't care about you. They care about the money, the war machine, the Vietnam War, and the whole thing, the FBI going after Ruby Ridge, going after David Koresh. You thought you were doing right for the country, and it turns out you were not. You were just a tool. Yeah, anyway, I'll get off that. All right. So what was that guy's name, man? Yeah. They think you'll someday take. Yeah, they'll get rid of you if you think you'll someday take their. 100%. Actually, I've heard more times than I can say. Women are the hardest bosses for other women. You see what I'm saying? I've heard that a million times a Sunday, because that's their concern about their jobs being taken from another lady, for sure. Let's see. The guy who freaking under Clinton, who went into the National Archive and took his documents and he put them in his pants and walked out for nothing. All right, so Pulverizer thinks they're incompetent. No, they are completely. I don't know why people they say the government, and then they give them like all this ability to control things, and they're not. They're incompetent. They're incompetent. That doesn't mean they can't do damage, man. I mean, the Nazis were incompetent, and they did horrible damage. Horrible damage. They are incompetent at running a solid, free-breathing society, but they're certainly competent at friggin' issuing and following dictates to take out their enemies in their domestic enemies. That's for sure. I'm just telling you right now. So when you see these people being taken over by the woke, that's just scary. All right. So I want to start with this right here. All right, we're going for yield. Right, right here. Actually, make sure I got this up first. All right, sweet. Yeah, all right, good. All right, so I cannot tell you how many people have emailed me about QYLD. What do I think about QYLD? So I said, let's look at some of these. All right, y'all can see that. Yeah. All right, so what I did with Schwab is I said, this is Schwab's of the highest distribution yields funds with at least 10 years of inception. All right. And I said, what we're going to do is we're going to look at these funds and we're going to see what they have done over the last 10 years when the markets were kicking butt and taking names. All right. Hope that makes sense. So I just have this out, and we got Gabelli. Mario Gabelli used to run this fund, Gabelli Utilities Fund, 9.22% distribution yield. All right. I hope that makes sense. So we're going to say, what's going on with some of these funds here? We got the PIMCO All Asset Fund. I don't think we have QYLD in here because it hasn't been around long enough. We got some RIDEX. So I'm familiar with all these things. So should I buy this fund with a high yield? And again, distribution yield is how much it pays relative to its price per share. That's it. So a distribution yield, if you have $100 as your price per share and it pays $10, your distribution yield is $10. Now, distribution yield isn't the same thing as your return on investment yield, if that makes sense. Distribution yield covers even some return of principal. All right, so we're going to start the first one with Van Eck. I don't even know what this is. International Gold Fund. Let's try it. We'll try the INIVX. I have not looked up any of these funds, my friends, not at all. So I have not looked up any of these guys. Actually, let's go to Market Watch. I kind of like Market Watch for more up-to-date. INIVX, I think. All right, so let's go to let you all see what I'm doing here, if I can. All right. INIVX. I might have to go back to Yahoo just because I've used Yahoo for so long. I'm comfortable with it. Oh, Israel, Hamas now trade deadly fire. We had peace in the Middle East, but no, Trump did not get a. Whatever, it's crazy. All right, so we're gonna go to Van Eck International Investors Gold Fund, and it's got a. It's down 3%, 3.5% so far today, but it's got a yield of 13%. Whoa, a yield of 13%. Now it's down 3.5%. So if that was a true yield of 13%, and I'm only down 3.5% year to date, you would think I'd be up 10%, but year to date return is all things included: dividends and capital gains and price appreciation. All right, so just bear with me just a second. We're going to go down to this guy. Expense ratio. I don't even care about the expense ratio right now. I'm just trying. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to go back to Yahoo. Yeah, it's not. It's not really doing what I was hoping. All right. I want to. Yeah, I was hoping that. Man, does that kind of do? I don't like that. It keeps getting in my way here. Let's get it right here. All right, I'm gonna go back to Yahoo. Hold on a second. I just like the market watch because it gives an accurate year-to-date return. Well, this one's down 3%. What did I say? No. Hello, Finnegan. Hi, big boy. INIVX. Hi, big boy. INIVX. I'm just looking out the window. See if you're seeing ladies. All right, here we go. So I want to go to, y'all can see that, yeah. All right, I want to go to, we're going to chart this right here. So I think what we want to do, yeah. All right, and that's going, man. So I want to go, one sec. I want to make a, I want custom. I don't do custom. 1 week, I don't think that's what I want. 1 hour, 4 hours. That's not, how did I get the custom? I was doing all this before I got on this call. Now I can't remember how to do this. We want to go to, so I don't think so. I'm trying to chart. Oops. Chart. Why is it not letting me? Let's go here. That's not what I want. I want 10. Oh, just store data. Is that it? I don't think that's it. Let's see. 1 second. Yeah, here we go. All right. That's not what I want. Hold on a second. We'll get this. We're going to chart. And I want to put a date in there. Why can't I put a date in there? Huh. You don't remember how to put a date in there? I was just doing this yesterday. Historical data? I think that's it. Well, I'm at a loss, man. All right, so we'll just go back to summary. All right, so we got 5 years. All right, so remember again, so look, we're at, what's that? Right there, we were at, what's the price per? 1242 right there. And then we're right here, 5 years ago at, what was that price? 1065. All right, and now you're at 1237. All right, 1065, now you're at 1237. So you made 20% appreciation on this portfolio. That's it. Now you're getting, you're getting 13%, whatever the yields were back then. Where I'm going is basically you're eating into your principal. And if let's just go to historical data. I don't know why I can't get the. let's go to year historically, dividends only. We're going to do monthly, and we're going to adjust. All right, there we go. Let's go back to, let's say 2010. All right, we're going to go here. That looks good. And I want to, yeah, okay. Apply. Oh, man, that's not what I'm trying to do. I guess I'll just do historical prices. All right, let's just do historical prices. That should be adjusted for, adjusted codes. Okay, sweet. So let's go all the way back. We're going to go back. Bear with me just a second. And we're going to go back to right. All right, so here's the adjusted close in 2010. 1455 is the adjusted close in 2010. What's the adjusted close now? That adjusted close is adjusted for dividends. All right, 1455 in 2010. Adjusted close now is 1237. Does that make sense? So with the dividends and everything, you've actually made no money. You've literally are down. You were at 1455 and you're sitting at 1237 now, adjusted for dividends. I mean, that's the issue, is that you can't pay 13% yield without getting the yield from, because it's a distribution yield, without getting the yield from your principal. I hope that makes sense. I mean, think about it. Even without adjusting. So right now, we closed today, or I guess at the end of May, we closed at 1237. All right. And without being adjusted for dividends, 1237. All right. We closed back in 2010 at 2144. So without even adjusting, I hope you get what that means. So you've literally made no money this fund, none. And because it's adjusted for dividends, you say, but I got a $2 dividend. Well, yeah, you got a $2 dividend. The price per share is way down because you're dipping into your NAV, your net asset value, which is why the price per share has dropped. I hope that makes some sense. I want to see what the comments are. All right. All right. So we got, all right. So let's look at QL. I mean, just, let's, so that was just one. So let's look at another one. And I mean, that's a gold fund. So people can say, oh, but it's a gold fund, Josh. That's not a fair comparison. I was looking, literally, I'm not here to bash the funds or anything. I'm just saying this is what happens when the yields are so high relative to just normal stuff. Is you can't just generate yield out of nothing. Either there's inherent risk because the stock is so undervalued that there's a reason it's so risky, or you're dipping in your principal to get the yield, or even worse, they're taking on debt to pay it. It's one of those three things, man. If the yield is significantly higher than just the average out there, there's a reason. I want to see the Gabelli. Oh, let's see the GA. That's only a 6.02, but let's take a look. GABEX. GABEX. So look at that. Actually, what if I just do it right here? Maybe I just do it on a Schwab site. I just don't want to lose all that. I got to log in. Never mind. Hold on just a second. GABAX. So we'll stop that, and we'll come back to GABEX. GABEX. I mean, you can't just get yield because I can give you yield. I just give your money back and say, look, you give me $100,000, I give you $10,000 a year, and your distribution yield is 10%. Is that good? No, of course not. No one will say that's good. All right, so here's the Gabelli Equity Income Fund. Mario Gabelli's a well-known person in this business. Got 6.02 yields. That's a pretty high yield for an equity fund. Now, I have no idea what they're investing in. I don't know. We're going to find out. So let's take a look. We're going to look at, let's go to 5 years. What's happening here? I hope this is a perfect example right here. I hope this shows you exactly what I was trying to show. Look, they were at 2671. Now it's at 1279. 2671, 1279. All right, now you go to max. Now, if this, well, I don't want to go back. Oh, man, I wish I could just go back to, Yeah, I just wish I could go back to, let's just go to chart again. All right, hold on just a sec. We're going to make this work. All right, we're going to go down, and we're going to go here, and we're going to come down here, over here. There we go, sweet. And we're going to show you. Let's make this, can I make it smaller? Yeah, there we go. Oops. All right, so here's 2010. This fund was trading at 2028 in 2010. Here's 2000, whatever it is right now. It's trading at 1279. I mean, let me close my door. Now you could make an argument that the reason it's trading so low is because it's a value play. I get that 100%. It's a value play. But if you're using this for income, I would suggest that you're taking it's no different, almost like in an annuity, frankly. An income annuity, that's no different, except this can lose money. I hope this makes sense. I mean, look at this. It's getting killed because it can't pay 6% dividend yield unless there's some crap that's in there that is either going to go bankrupt, is junk stuff, or is dividend to principal to pay the distribution. It's not dividend yield, the distribution yield, or is taking on debt. One of those three things, one of those four things. I hope that makes sense, man. We'll look at QYLD. Let's just see what this. Let me bring this up again. So when I see something that's paying 6%, that's not that bad. I mean, that's not that far off of the value. So like if I look at VTV, for instance, VTV, which I own, I think that's like 2.75 or something like that. I think the yield on VTV is like